Hey there, Packers faithful. Picture this. It's week 4 at Lambeau Field. The air's crisp with that early October chill, and the Green Bay Packers are locked in nail-biter with the hated Dallas Cowboys. The clock ticks down, hearts pound like thunder in the stands, and boom, it's a 40-40 tie that leaves everyone screaming, "What just happened? Is this the spark that ignites another Lombardi-era run? Or just another chapter in the Packers' roller coaster of glory and grit?" Welcome to your ultimate Green Bay Packers news update. I'm your host, diving deep into the cheese curds of the NFL, where the legends of Lambeau leap off the page. If you're a die-hard cheesehead or just dipping your toes into the frozen tundra, strap in. We got drama, touchdowns, and a running back who's not afraid to call out the trolls. Hit that like button if you're ready to chant, "Go Pack Go," and let's roll. All right, let's kick off with the main event that's got the NFL buzzing like a swarm of angry hornets. The Packers and Cowboys? Yeah, that week 4 thriller ended in a wild 40-40 deadlock. A tie so rare in the pros. It's like finding a 4-leaf clover in a snowbank. Remember, folks, ties are about as common as a Packers loss to the Lions these days. Only the third one in franchise history since the overtime rules kicked him back in '71. But here's the silver lining. Green Bay sitting pretty at 2-1-1, right in the thick of the NFC North hunt. And leading the charge? None other than Josh Jacobs, the thunder-legged running back who joined the Pack this offseason and is already proving he's no flash in the pan. Jacobs didn't just show up, he exploded. In that Cowboys chaos, he led the team in both rushing and receiving, piling up a whopping 157 yards from scrimmage. That's 112 on the ground alone. Capped off with 2 rushing touchdowns that had Lambeau shaking like it did during the Ice Bowl in '67. One of those scores? A gritty 12-yard scamper where he stiff-armed a linebacker into next Tuesday, celebrating with that signature fist pump that screams, "This is my house now." It's the kind of performance that echoes the greats. Think Amon Green's 2003 tear through the division, or even Eddie Lacy bulldozing defenders back in the Aaron Rodgers heyday. But hold on, it gets better, or should I say, spicier. Because while the gridiron glory was fresh, Jacobs had to step off the field and into the digital trenches to swat down some straight-up fake news that's got no place in Packer Nation. Picture this. You're scrolling your feed after the game, hyped on adrenaline, when you stumble across this viral post. It claims Josh Jacobs dropped a bombshell quote. "I didn't know my grandfather was rushed to the hospital with a heart attack before the game. I celebrated that touchdown with joy, but now it feels completely different. That score is for him, and I just pray he pulls through." Heartbreaking, right? Except it's total baloney. Fabricated from thin air. The kind of internet garbage that preys on real emotions to rack up clicks. And Josh, the guy's a 3-time Pro Bowler, a former Alabama beast who doesn't mince words. He hopped on social media Friday afternoon and lit it up like a Lambeau leap. "I never once said this. IDK why people always like just making expletive up." Boom, blunt, unfiltered, and pure Jacobs. It's the kind of raw honesty that reminds me of an old Packers story from the Vince Lombardi days, when players like Ray Nitschke would call out the press for twisting tails after a tough loss. No sugarcoating here. Just a running back protecting his family and his truth. Now, let's pump the brakes and break this down like we're dissecting a zone-blocking scheme in film room with Matt LaFleur. Jacobs isn't just venting. He's thriving. Through 4 weeks of this 2025 season, he's torched defenses for 266 rushing yards on 80 carries, averaging a solid 3.3 yards per pop, and that's with 4 touchdowns already in the bank. 4. That's tying him for the NFC lead among backs. Folks, compare that to his Vegas days. In 2023, he grinded out 1,101 yards, but only hit pay dirt once. Here in Green Bay, it's like he found a fountain of youth. Or maybe it's that Packers magic. The same stuff that turned Brett Favre into a gunslinging legend and Aaron Rodgers into a zen master of the deep ball. Under LaFleur's offense, which loves those misdirection plays and play-action fakes, Jacobs is a perfect fit. Remember that Cowboys game? On his second TD, it was a classic counter trap. Fake handoff to Christian Watson streaking left, and Jacobs hits the hole right, bursting for daylight. LaFleur is calling it poetry in motion, and he's not wrong. It's up 15% from last year's explosive run rate. But let's zoom out for the bigger picture. This tie, it's a gut punch. Sure, no moral victories in Titletown. The Packers outgained Dallas 428 to 392, held the ball for over 34 minutes, and Jordan Love? Oh man, what a night from the kid out of Utah State. He slung it for 315 yards and 3 scores, including a 42-yard laser to Romeo, dude that had the south end zone erupting. Love's completion percentage is hovering at 68% now, with a QB rating north of 105. That's Rodgers' level efficiency, minus the yoga poses. Defensively, though, Rashawn Gary and the D-line stuffed Dak Prescott into 2.1 sacks. But those late-game lapses, cough, cough, a 75-yard Cowboys bomb, cause them injuries? Praise the frozen gods. It's minimal. Just a nagging hamstring for Jair Alexander, who's day-to-day. No major hits like last year's Christian Watson ankle twist that sidelined him for weeks. Shifting gears to the historical heartbeat of this franchise, because you can't talk Packers without tipping your hat to the ghost of Lambeau. Founded in 1919 as the Indians, reborn as the Packers in 20, this is America's team before Jerry Jones ever dreamed of stars. 13 championships, 4 Super Bowls, and a Lombardi sweep that revolutionized the game. That Ice Bowl? -15 wind chill. Packers down 17-14 to the Cowboys in the 67 NFC title. Bart Starr sneaks it in on 4th and goal with 16 seconds left. Epic. And ties? This one's a first since a 10-10 snoozer with the Lions in 11. Stat-wise, Green Bay's rushing attack